Hi everyone, welcome back to Mouth and Matter. My name is Titi. If you're new here, the basic framework of how this goes is I talk about the plot, I talk about the characters, I talk about my likes and my dislikes, I give it a rating, no, theory time, then a rating, then final thoughts, and yeah, that's how it is. So yeah, subscribe, like, and let's get right into this. So the first thing I would like to talk about is the plot. Now, this story is called House of Stars. The plot is about this girl, Lily. She longs for adventure, but she's in a town where nothing really ever happens. If you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my notes. Nothing really ever happens in that town. And then when girls start to disappear near the forest, she kind of stumbles into this whole dangerous quest in a world that is right beneath her feet. And yeah, it's great. So, time for the characters. I'm just going to talk about Niven and Lily. Okay, so Lily, the girl, our protagonist, she's really resilient. She knows the difference between good and bad. She definitely wants to help people. She is always trying to find the best solution for things that are happening, and she will definitely not like sell out her friends, and she's always there for her friends and for the people that matter to her the most. Niven, he is kind of scared, but it is sort of expected for him to be scared. Like, I like the take on him. He is someone who has been forced into like servitude and has to do things that he ordinarily would not do, which makes sense. And I like the way they took his character. He's scared, but he's curious about the world around him, and that's very interesting to see. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk about those two and leave it there. Time for my likes. So first one, the arts. The art was beautiful. The art was stunning. Like everything else, like guys, the art, if you read this webtoon just for the art alone, I would not blame you, because the art is just that good. It's really great, guys. Like the art, it's so pretty. I don't want to say it's floaty because it's rather grounded. When I think of floaty art, I think of maybe, let's say, Edith. But this, it's rather grounded. But guys, it just seems so, everything about it seems effortless. The colors seem effortless. The style seems effortless. It's crazy. It's really beautiful, but it doesn't seem like it's trying too hard, which is great. And the best thing about it is the colors. Oh my gosh, guys, the fucking colors. Like the clouds. The cloud, there's these little pink clouds at this one point. The skies, you have just the richest colors in this webtoon. It's so great. It's like you're inside this kind of like, you know, mosaics, or like those like marble thingies, no, those glass things that you see in like a cathedral or something. They are so pretty, and they're even prettier than those cathedral thingies. Like, they're just so stunning. It's, you would want to be inside this world just for how aesthetically pleasing it is. Like, and I wouldn't blame you. I want to be inside the world just because it's aesthetically pleasing. Like, it's gorgeous. Third thing, the little thumbnail. I know this is very like nitpicky and it doesn't really mean anything, but like the thumbnail for this webtoon, it has her looking at something, and it's like, oh, I want to see what she's looking at. That's kind of what intrigued me to like this thing at first. Like, she looked so cute and so like expressive, and her eyes were huge, and it was like, oh my gosh, I want to see what she's looking at. That's giving her such like a sense of wonder, and it was so cute. Fourth thing is that it puts its best foot forward. Like, I was not even maybe 3 seconds in that I had started scrolling through the first chapter that I was like, god damn, this is so good. This is so good. Everything ties in together, gives you this little sense of mystery, little sense of intrigue. You want to know more about the town, you want to know more about Lily, you want to keep up with the work, because again, the art is just so fucking beautiful. And yeah, the next thing, the food, the way they draw the food in here, guys, I would love to be there. I would love to be there. It's very mouth-watering. It definitely gives you like a sense of like, god damn, like fuck, I'm hungry. It makes you really hungry. It makes you really hungry. It makes you miss out. It makes you feel like you're missing out on really good food. It was great. It was just drawn really nicely and really enticingly. Oh, also, I really liked how they told us like the parents had died. Like, we learned it through like this passage of pictures that was in Lily's home. So we saw like, oh, they had taken a picture with like the dad, the mom, the grandma, and Lily, and then later on they showed like another picture where it was just, I think maybe it was just the mom, the grandma, and Lily, and then it was just grandma and Lily. So I'm not sure. I do know the first one that I said was correct, and maybe the last one, I'm not sure, don't take my word for it. I know for certain the first one was correct, but I thought that was interesting. It was very blink and you miss it, because obviously you're scrolling. Well, the way I was doing it, I was scrolling, and I had to scroll back, and I was like, oh, okay. The next thing is that Niven is low-key fine. He's low-key fine. I was a bit skeptical. At first, I will not lie. It was a very they kind of subverted what I thought was gonna happen. I won't lie. I thought Niven was sketchy. I thought he was sketchy. How else would he look with a girl who had gone stray, submerging her over water? This guy has green skin. It's just he's sketchy. Okay, he looked sketchy, and the way creators like to pass off sketchy people sometimes by making them really attractive. So I was like, no. But I will admit he looked cute, even with the green skin. But yeah. Next thing is that I really like the juxtaposition of colors, like the above world where Lily lives and where, you know, everything is normal relatively to her, because that's where she's grown up in. Like that place, just like it kind of has lighter like colors, like pastels and everything. It's lighter like pinks and peaches and green. Those lighter colors, they kind of encapsulate what's there around her. And then below, the world below, I think that's what it's called, even just below, like they have this richer colors, these like blues and dark greens, because it's kind of, I think it's only ever nighttime below since the queen came into like rule. It has only ever been nighttime, so it's kind of like midnight, and it's like dark blue, and then you see some stars, and it's so pretty, it's so gorgeous. And both sides are just, they're stunning. Both sides are stunning. The next one is that I low-key love how Lily was always addressing him. She didn't immediately trust him, which made me trust Lily more and made me like her and appreciate her more as a character. Like she always had like a shovel like directed at him whenever she was talking to him or interact. Not whenever, it was, you know, during the beginning stages of when they knew each other, you know what I mean? Like she definitely wasn't still holding a fucking shovel to his throat when, you know, they've just gone through an entire adventure together and know that the intentions of him are good and whatever. But like during the first, you know, couple of chapters, she was like, I'm not playing these games. She was calling him a kidnapper because that's what she thought he was. Like I said, he was sketchy. He's seen sketchy, and I don't like creators trying to pass people off as like as not sketchy when they're really attractive. So that even made me more like skeptical of him. But I liked how Lily mirrored my own thoughts, so that was nice. The next one is that it kind of reminds me of this series that I read, but in hindsight this webtoon is definitely better than the series that I read. But it had something to do with Rumpelstiltskin, and it was just like this fairy tale-esque like qualities. I fucking loved it. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, the next one is that the plot, it keeps the plot pushing. Like everything about it, like it doesn't drag. It kind of hits all the beats that it's supposed to hit at the right time, and it's just it's really it's great. It's great. Like I enjoyed how non-static it was. It just kept on moving, which I really enjoyed. Which I have to say, it's sort of a testament to the character, to her too, because she makes choices. Even though I disagreed with some of the choices she made, I won't get to that. We'll get to that in my dislike section. Even though I disagree with some of the choices that Lily made, it made me see like she was made it seem like she was a character of agency, and she was one who was driving the plot, not oh the plot is happening to her and she's just reacting. So I enjoyed that. I don't mind the latter thing that I just said, but I prefer when a character is making choices that sort of affect what's going on. So yeah. Next thing is that it feels so YA, like even the name House of Stars. Like, do you guys remember? I don't know if it's still going on because I've sort of fell off reading a bit, but when everything would be like YA fantasy fiction, especially everything, you could pick the names. You could just, it has to be the way it has to be is like something of something and something. That's the format of the titles. It has to be something of something of something. Next thing is that it has such a fairy tale fantasy quality, which is what I just said and the points before, which is really nice. I really like to see it. It's really cute. I don't see a lot of that on Webtoon, but this was nice to see, and was very much felt. It very much felt like a breath of fresh air. It was really nice. The next thing is that they're cute. Both of them are really cute. I like how it wasn't completely, oh, immediately I like you. It was a nice steady build up of a friendship, and then the lingering, like it wasn't full on a romance at the end, which I liked. You know what I mean? Because realistically, I don't know how long this whole adventure has gone on for, but it didn't seem like long. It seemed like enough, but not long enough. So it's like, okay, I didn't expect like a full on romance at the end. I just expected some cute little things, you know, just some cute things, and yeah, which is what they delivered to me. Like, even if the romance wasn't there, the friendship in itself is cute, which I enjoy. Next thing is that the entire premise sort of has everything that you would want. It has a lot of things that you want. Like, they've got nobility, they got a plucky hero, they've got a love interest, they've got cute ass clothes. The clothes are so beautiful. They've got quests, and it low-key reminds me of like let me think, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Like, and I don't mean to compare the two. People who have read A Court of Thorns and Roses know what I'm talking about. I don't mean to compare this lovely webtoon to A Court of Thorns and Roses. But like, think about it. You got your female protagonist who came across this world by coming into contact from someone by that world, and then you got an evil queen who's keeping her love interest like hostage, and then you have the quest, which is all underground, and then you, like, even the fucking quest. I think there were 3 quests in Court of Thorns and Roses, like 3 trials she had to do. And as I'm thinking about it, the last thing had to do with something with love, right? The last quest, the last thing was had to do with love. Like, in the last one, the question was something had to do with love. And this one, the last quest, was the queen asked her to find her like a happy ending. And then you're thinking, okay, Titi, but what does that have to do with it? But like she sort of got the happy ending by the man that she loved. It's a whole thing. But like, now that I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, it's great. Like, even the quest, like the queen manipulated the quest in both stories. Like, now that I'm deep in it, like, it's a lot like Court of Thorns and Roses, but you know, obviously with characters that you would actually like, you know what I mean? But that's the tea for another day. Next thing is that Lily is so cute. She's just so cute. You just want to adopt her, put her in your pocket. It's just the most adorable thing. Like, her fucking eyes are just so cute and so expressive. Her little cute ass bob. It's just, everything about her screams cute and adorable, but still very like practical, which I like. Next thing, Baba Yaga, she's great. She's great. She's like this. She's like Lily's grandma's friend, who lives in the below. She helps Lily, takes her in, tells her, you know, just some shit about the queen, tells her about how she knows Lily's, and how she knows Lily and knows Lily's grandma, and yeah, she's great. I like her so much. Next thing is that everyone is so pretty, guys. Everyone is so pretty. Everyone is so aesthetically pleasing. Not in a way that it's like crazy, that you're like, oh, what's going on, but in a way that's like, it's nice to see. We like to see it. I know I've made this point before in something else. I think it was like The Devil's a Handsome Man. That's like everyone's so good looking, but there's a difference. Everyone's so good looking there. I mean to say everyone's so pretty here. Like everyone's so drawn nicely. I don't know how to explain it. And Devil's a Handsome Man, I feel like that has so much potential to kind of like make people not as good looking, because it has to deal with devil. I think I've talked about it before. Just go read my go watch my The Devil's a Handsome Man video. But this one, it kind of fits into the aesthetic, like a fairy tale aesthetic, when people are pretty, if that makes sense. People are pretty. There's a difference between pretty and good looking. By pretty, I mean that whole, I don't want to say it's floaty like I said before, but that whole style, yeah, that. The next thing is that King Hao. This kind of goes from the pretty thing. King Hao, like, even in the backstory, there was a backstory that included King Hao. I think Baba Yaga was the one who told it, and I was like, he's cute. He's cute, but like when we see him face to face, even the older version of King Hao, I was like, okay, we see you. Like the beard, chef's kiss, mwah, it was what it needed to be, and it was done right. It was done right. Strangely enough, funny enough, I prefer him in whatever place he was before, where Lily had to meet him, and to tell him and to get information about the queen. I preferred him in that drawing style than him when he finally went to go and meet the queen and everything was broad daylight. I don't know why, but I preferred the drawing of him in that kind of like dark, kind of shrouded thing than to him in a bright light. But that's just me. Next thing, second to last thing, is that Peach is so cute. Peach is so adorable. Peach is this little, I don't know what to call him. I feel like he's part of the green people, but I'm not sure. I don't know if the green people is the name for the species as a whole, or if that's, but he's just so cute. Really good helper, really good friend. He was just what was needed inside that plot. Just a dose of like, it was of cuteness, you know, just extra cuteness, which is what it needed to be. Last thing is that my girl spitting some facts. Lily was spitting some fucking facts to King Hao. King Hao needs like a slap on the upside of his head sometimes. He's cute, but he doesn't make sense. He doesn't make it make sense for me. He kind of annoys me, not to the point where it's dragging down the whole story, because I only saw this King Hao for maybe like 2, 3, 4 chapters, maybe. I don't know, it wasn't that much probably. But yeah, what Lily was like, she was talking about things about you don't have to love people unconditionally, and that I feel like that shit kind of gets crammed down little girls' throats, like, oh, you don't, like, oh, you have to love people no matter what they do to you, kids especially, but especially little girls. And I disagree with that, even because when people treat you bad, you should be able to kind of cut them out of your life. You know what I mean? Which is what I wholeheartedly support. And I support Lily in saying that. She was saying it to King Hao about the queen. And I was like, you're spitting facts. We love to see it. It was just really good. Like, the only people I could ever see myself loving unconditionally are my hypothetical kids, if I ever have kids, my family, sometimes, because they're okay. And yeah, those are the only people I'm pretty sure. Like, but everyone else, snip, like, I can cut you off. It doesn't, you know what I mean? But obviously I have great people around me, so I don't see myself cutting off anybody, because everyone's fucking great. And yeah. So down to my dislike section. first one is that 19, like what I put here in my notes was 19 with like several question mark. She's 19. Lily's 19. I thought she was like 12, guys. I really fucking thought she was 12. And I agree with the way they styled her. I agree with the way they drew her. In the notes that was there at the end, like the final thingies at the end, it was like, oh, we wanted her to look normal in a normal way, but we wanted her to be practical at the same time, to look practical. And I think they nailed it, but I think she just looks 12. I don't know why. She looks like a kid. She looks like a kid. And I think maybe it's the eyes. It's just the expressive eyes, maybe. I don't know, but she looks like a child, and which is why it leads me to my next point. Like, why would she choose to go further into the forest, especially when we learn that she's 19? Like, we know that girls have been going missing. We know that. We see it in, they tell us before she goes deeper into the forest. She hears a noise inside the forest and she says, let me go explore. And that's when she sees Niven like submerging this girl underneath the water. By the way, the reason why the queen needed the girls was, I think, to kind of keep up whatever spell she was doing. I can't even remember what the girls were used. What were the girls used for? I can't remember. I really can't remember. But the queen needed the girls for something. But it was just like, why are you going deeper into the forest? Why are you making these choices? Especially when we find out she's 19. When she was 12, when I thought she was 12, I was like, okay, cool, we'll allow it. She's a kid. Kids are curious little things. We'll allow it. But when you're 19, I'm sorry, I hear things in mysterious places. I'm not going there. I go the opposite way. I hear, it's like Bird Box. I'm not seeing it, I'm not hearing it. We go this way. Just my opinion. The next thing is, I really put here, could you not have made the cloaks a different color or less pointy? So like, there are these cloaks that I think it was Peach and Lily that they wore. I think they got it from Baba Yaga. I can't be sure. I think so. These cloaks, which are, they kind of remind me of like uniform, kind of like their armor. It's really nice. But from the back, when they're walking away, the first thing that I thought was KKK. Like, that was the first thing that sprung to my mind. That's obviously not the imagery they wanted to invoke, but it was the imagery that I got. I just thought KKK because it was a white cloak and then it was pointy at the back, and I was just, nah, guys, you could have maybe made it a different color, maybe put a little pattern on it, maybe made it less pointy. Like, if they had made it like a hood instead of like a point, I probably would not have gotten those like connotations, but I got it and I was like, oh, okay. But it obviously wasn't what they were going for. But yeah, that's just what I got. The next thing is that she's really naive. She's really naive, and which was what they were going for. Again, they put that inside the announcement at the end, like, yeah, she's a bit naive. It's to the point where it's a bit irksome but not annoying enough. She makes up for it with like her pluck, the way that she treats the people around her and everything. But yeah, her naivete, is that a word? It definitely sort of annoys me sometimes. The next thing is that I don't know what time this story is based, and it's kind of jarring. Because it reads very old-timey. Of course, fantasy stories kind of had that old-time vibe, you know what I mean, with the nice dresses and the castles and everything, and the, you know, the people in the village, that whole vibe. But like, she's like wearing short shorts and a bike, so like that whole, there's like, it's kind of jarring. She's wearing short shorts and a bike, you know, and she has a bike, I mean, and in what we thought was previously like a old-timey place, and then when she gets him a costume, when she gets Niven a costume, sort of fitting in her world. I say a costume because it's obviously a costume to him, even though it's very normal time clothes for the world that we live in. She got him like a hoodie and jeans, which he low-key rocked, but like, again, it kind of adds to that whole what time is this thing based? What time is it based in? Like there's indoor plumbing, like there's a shower. So it's like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, where is this thing based? When is it based? It's kind of jarring, but I don't mind it. I actually don't mind it because I low-key think you can sidestep a lot of problems with modern things in your story, even when you put it in like an old-timey fashion. Like, let me say Court of Thorns and Roses now. Court of Thorns and Roses has that problem too, where it reads like it's supposed to be in some kind of olden time something because of its fantasy element and, you know, the courts and everything. But like, these bitches have showers, they have plumbing, everything like that. So it's like, what's going on? When are you based? It's kind of jarring, but it also, I guess, it sidesteps a lot of like plot holes. Like, oh, had you guys, I don't know how it sidesteps stuff, but it definitely sidesteps. I don't mind it is what I'll say. It's just a bit jarring, like you don't know what's going on. Next thing is that I'm not so sure that the queen deserved the ending that she got. I don't think she did. I don't think she deserved the ending that she did. What happened was that King Hao finally, you know, came to her, blah blah. That was the happy ending that she got. He removed the curse that I think she had, and he was like, okay, you will be, I think he banished her or something. He banished her. He didn't kill her or anything. No one died, which is fine. I wouldn't have minded to see her die. I wouldn't have minded, but okay, if you're gonna banish her, that's fine enough, I guess. But what I didn't like was that he was like saying, oh, no one will ever speak your name or tell a single tale about you. And I think that's what got me pissed off. You don't want to press a group of people for a long ass time in a regime that I'm sure you're not even able to speak against at. And when you finally vanquish the person that has been doing that for that amount of time, you mean I'm not allowed to speak about it? I'm not about to speak bad about your name. I'm not even about to speak about you. I think that's just, I was like, she maybe doesn't deserve that kind of ending. If you want to banish her, cool, fine, whatever. But you're telling me I'm not allowed to speak about this bitch? Okay, fine. So yeah, that kind of loops up, kind of like wraps up my dislike section. I think it's time for my rating. Do I talk about my rating? Do I give it a rating? No, theory. Okay, so what I think would possibly happen in that story is that we get to see maybe the dad. We get to learn more about the dad, maybe. I feel like is the dad dead? I don't know, because we never see his face. So I think it would be really interesting sort of bring up that element. I'm so sorry. I know I'm saying like, oh, I can't remember if this happened and this happened. But I actually made the notes for this a long time ago, like before Christmas, a long time ago. So it's been more than a month, maybe a month and a half. And I'm filming it just now. So it would, to loop back to the dad, it would be nice to see maybe some more history. Also just about the parents, because I don't think we got much info about the parents. We got some things about the mom, about the grandmother, and about the mom maybe, but it would have been nice to see some things about it. Yeah, so okay, give it a rating. I'm gonna give this like a nice cute, maybe 8.5, 9 out of 10. That's what it really nice and deserves. Yeah, around that range, 8.5 to 9. I think I'm very undecided. It was really great. It was really, I would even go as far to give it like a 9.2 maybe. Like, it was just that good. It was just really good. There was one comment that was like, I was literally stopping every few seconds to make sure that I liked every chapter, and that was me. I never related to a comment more in my entire life. Like, every time I would be scrolling and I would just appreciate the work, and I just look at the art and I'm like, God, I like this chapter because it was just that good. It was just really that good. I read it in the span of 2 hours. It's not a long webtoon at all, maybe like 27 chapters. I remember when I was rereading it just this morning, so I could like familiarize myself with like my likes and my dislikes, because I sort of forgot the points in connotation to what I wanted to speak about. I remember when I was rereading it and I was like, oh my gosh, this thing really started out like we get right into it, and I think she goes right into like the below, maybe by the 3rd chapter or something, which, I mean, you may think that, oh, that's kind of quick, but like in 27 chapters, I think they use their time really well. I think that's something I could give like a credit for, the way they sort of paced themselves. I thought that was really nice and really skillful. I think they know how to use their time well and what they wanted to do well. It didn't feel like it was dragging along, and it maybe didn't feel like it was kind of going too fast. It was just nice. And like I said, I respect a story that knows when to stop. I respect a story that knows when to like just drop. I know a story. I love it when a story knows when to like just say, this is their time allocated, I don't want to drag this on and on, this is what I want it to be. And it was really nice. I think it's sort of, even the shortness, like maybe that's not what they expected to do, but the shortness kind of invokes that whole fairy tale like quality. Fairy tales, I would say fairy tales, folk tales even, they're not meant to be these long drawn out sagas. I mean, they can be, don't get it twisted, they can be, but when I think of them, I think of, oh, once upon a time, so on and so forth, moral of the story, done, go to bed, everyone, you know what I mean? Like, it's never that long, which I really, really liked. This morning, when I reread something, it was just like a little note that I noticed. When they are in the below, they show the castle quite a few times. They show shots of the castle below, like the castle shrouded in its darkness, and it's beautiful, but it's just kind of like shows, it's more symbolic of the fact that the queen is still in power. So when it's shrouded, they show it quite a few times. When I was rereading it, I was like, oh, I never noticed it. And then maybe in the last few chapters, when they finally defeat the queen, they show the castle shots, but this time it's in the lights, and it was just really nice. So yeah, overall, it was just a great webtoon. I highly, highly recommend it. Like I said, if you want to read it just for the art, I would completely understand, but that would be negating the fact of what a great story it is. So people who came up with the story in itself, that was great. You were great. The characters were great. Like every single component of it made sense. The art was beautiful, but let's not fucking sleep on the story. Let's not sleep on the plot. So that was really nice. And yeah, if you like this, like it, then comment anything else. Comment if you agree with me, saying, oh hey Titi, completely validated my thoughts, thank you, or like, no Titi, your thoughts and your opinions completely suck. I don't know who let you think you can have this job, but you definitely cannot. You're wrong on points A, B, C, D, and whatever. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, and check out my playlist, because I have webtoon recommendations and I have webtoon reviews up, so go watch those if you like. And yeah, bye.